It is Nick Shell, and we are going to talk about hair loss and nothing else. Now, in case this is the first time you've been watching my videos since subscribing, I have a special guest, and this is my dad, Jack. And he's been in videos before as a special guest when I come to Alabama to visit. And I got a comment about a week ago, and I've been saving this video so that we could share with this together. But I have a subscriber named NSMJKL who was one of the ones who kept pushing me, Nick, talk about being a vegan, make some vegan videos. Which, being a vegan, no meat, no eggs, no dairy. So I did. This is what NSMJKL had to say 6 days ago. Quote, Nick, your dad has a super appearance, more handsome than you. Anyways, Nick, you could use a little bit of Go Fiber to look more awesome. You have a typical determination, which makes me feel that you are not afraid of hair loss. Hair loss fears you, friend. End quote. So that's from our friend NSMJKL. How do you feel about being more handsome than me? You have a super appearance.
Well, never heard that before, so that's a new comment I've yet to hear.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, and that's kind of a thing that we've talked about. Like, there's this superficial concept of what it means to be attractive and handsome, especially when you're younger. But then there really is such a thing as looking more handsome as you get older. And so it's interesting to see this comment. And this is not the first time this has came up. I've had at least one other person say this after seeing my dad in a video. So this isn't just a one-time comment on this. So thank you for that. I think we need to talk about this too. I said that before, I said I'm not an enigma. It's not like I was always just a confident person. I became this way. I mean, it happened by the time ultimately I was 34, now I'm 36. But I just wanted to talk about that for a minute because I've joked around, hey, I do have parents. I became this way. And I just want to say on camera that when I was a boy, I was really shy and I was afraid to try stuff. I was a nervous kid. And I slowly became that way. I mean, would you agree? Like, have I always been this way, or what's your take on that? Because there's young guys watching these videos thinking, and they know my secret. The secret is forget the hair, be a confident person. That's the power that you have. But I've been telling them it's not like I just magically became this way. It's mental, and the more you take power away from other people over your emotions, and you stop allowing that to bother you, the more you have control. I haven't always been that way. I mean, how have you seen that progression happen throughout my life?
Yeah, as a small child, yeah, not a lot of confidence in those sports. You really didn't excel in sports, and but you didn't let that really get you down, and you just found something that you could excel in, which music and songwriting and things like that. And I think that's what really helped you get over all your no confidence. It's
funny too, because something that we forget because it was so normal and back then, but I was in a lot of plays as a kid too, and that started happening like when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade. So I was on the stage a lot. I was in lots of plays all the time, all the way throughout, and I think that probably helped me too. So therefore we can't be surprised that here I am making 3 videos a day talking to people on a stage. So I think that too. And I was a shy kid when I started that, but when I got in front of people, I think that probably had something to do with it too. And because you're right, I was never good at sports, and I never really cared about sports. Naturally, you find out what you are good at. And just like, again, a common theme about the hair loss is once you start realizing, hey, if I can't control this, or I don't want to be worried about it, what else can I be focusing on? Something that actually matters and that other people find value. Because something I think potentially controversial I've said before is nobody ultimately cares about you until they can see what you're providing for them to help them. That's how a lot of people work. So when they see, wow, this person has something to offer me, I don't care what his hair looks like. Wow, this is a helpful person. This is a kind and this person is someone I can respect and follow after. It's little things like that that actually matter in the real world. And you have 2 people right here that know that and have lived lived enough life to know that. And so I have to keep reminding myself that most people watching these videos are younger guys, teenagers, but they have the misfortune of having lost their hair at a much younger age than us. Because I mean, as a teenager, you didn't notice your hairline changing as a teenager, right?
No, I started seeing it about 25 or 26, started receding, and
yeah. So and I mean, that's kind of about the same time. I saw it at like 20 officially, but no one else could even notice it until, actually about 25 was the first time someone ever brought it up other than me. I mean, so that makes sense. But that's what I tell them. I say that's an advantage. That's an advantage we have, that we didn't go bald by the time we were 23. But I argue, I proposed to them the idea that it took us longer to be forced to have that confidence at an earlier age, because I became a confident. I mean, again, it wasn't until 2 years ago that I really feel like I was worth saying stuff into a camera trying to help people. And I think it took me longer to mature and get that confidence. It took me into actually my early 30s when really I got where I wanted to be, because I always felt inferior to other guys. I was like, man, if I could be as confident as him. No one ever knew that's how I felt, but it's how I felt. And I think if you lose your hair younger, I think that challenge that's forced upon you, it gets you to a place that quicker than I could have got to myself. I mean, do you think that at all? I know that I'm just springing this on you, but
oh yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
What age? Okay, let's close with this thought. I was 34 years old before I finally felt confident in myself, because again, that's when I stopped allowing people to control my emotions. No one could insult me after that at all. When did you reach that point enough? What age were you when you finally got to that point? Because life became so much more free for me when I did. Can you recognize a point in your life when that happened?
Yeah, I would say about early 30s. Yeah.
And it's funny, that seems to kind of be the going age for that.
Mm-hmm.
There was a study that came out about a year ago that said age 34 is the happiest year of your life as an adult, and that happens to be the year that I hit that. And I think that's about the point. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to wait till you're 34 to get that. One of the side effects, one of the positive side effects of possibly losing your hair younger is that you get to gain that before we gained it. So I know that may sound like the worst consolation gift ever, but it is true, because I always wanted that confidence that I didn't have. So imagine the guy that's nearly bald at 20 and says, forget it, I'm just gonna shave it off. And like, that's one less thing to worry about. That's one less layer that he's gonna have to peel off and shed off through his life. He doesn't have to worry that. He's already checked that box off and moved on.
Yeah, do it.
All right, thanks for being a part of my video, and you are officially more handsome than me.